So we're here with another Welly Merck. This watch is obviously prior to them putting their name change on the watches. So wrist movement, WM, whatever they're going to go by now, not written on this watch, but this was sent to me prior for review, so I do want to dive into it. This is a mix, I guess, between kind of like a Submariner Black Bay style watch. It is, off the bat, pretty nice looking. There are some real questionable things, though, about it that, I mean, for the price point, it's right around $100. I don't think it's a terrible investment, but just some quality control things that make me really question the watch in general. But we'll get into that. But here is the watch right off the bat. It is a very nice green, kind of Hulk style, color. But that's not what matters. Let's dive in, let's look at this face a little closer, and let's discuss some details about this thing. So here we are, nice up and close. Let's talk about just the overall dimensions of this watch. This is a 40 millimeter without crown. It is 46 millimeters lug to lug. It is 12.5 millimeters thick. It is a lug width of 20 millimeters. So fairly standard. 12.5 is a little bit thick. We're getting up there. Anything from 12 to 13 starts to get just a little bit thick. It is water resistant to 100 meters. The crown does screw down, which is fantastic. And this is a Miyota 8215 automatic movement. So it is a nice automatic movement for the price point, which is not terrible. It looks like it's on sale on their website right now for around $100. I'm not sure what the Amazon listing of this is, but you can get these on Amazon, you can get them on AliExpress, and you can get them right on their website. They did send me this, so just being totally transparent, I didn't pay for this, but I'm going to give it, as you can see, an honest review, because there's things about it that I really just don't like. One thing that I do like the taper of the bracelet. That's something I always talk about, but with that, the bracelet's on backwards. So, right off the bat, that makes me question just the overall quality. It is absolutely backwards. Also, this clasp is not like a Rolex where you pull up and it hinges. It's just a friction clasp, and it is so damn hard to actually open. I actually need a tool to open this watch. So, I don't love that. At the moment, it makes it almost unusable. I've literally been grabbing a screwdriver and popping it in there and popping it open so I could actually use it. But see, as you can see, here's the watch face up. Go to put it on, and the clasp was on the wrong side of the watch. So it's not a great start. It makes me wonder just overall quality control things. Also, the second I took it out of the box, this piece here popped off. And as you can see, it is already starting to pull off a little bit in there. So that piece is just not in there sturdy enough. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue for all of you, but putting that aside, I do like the taper, and I do like the Rolex style clasp, but having it on backwards is just, I've never received a watch that has the bracelet on backwards. That doesn't make any sense to me. But, I know I'm saying but a lot here, but there's good and bad with this watch. It has a diver extension, an Easy Link. So there's little things like that I'm like, I really do like that, and I really do appreciate that, but at the same time, I'm just kind of at a loss for words about the other parts of the quality control issues. So, let me throw this on the wrist and just kind of really think through what I think of this watch. But it is really kind of stumping me at the moment, whether I like it or not. But we'll get into that. So here it is on the wrist. I have it a little bit tight at the moment because I did mean to open the diver extension, because that's how I fitted the watch. It came with the diver extension open, so that's how I noticed it. I noticed a little gap over here that was a little strange to me. But it does definitely wear a little thicker than what I would prefer in a watch. But it is really nice looking. I like the beveling here around the bezel. It has a nice feel to it. The bezel action is nice and smooth. It's just a really nice looking watch. There's a nice depth into the face. The markers around it are kind of set into little holes for themselves. So it is a nice looking watch, and the face itself is fairly small. The bezel is fairly large. So it is definitely, looking down at it, it doesn't look like it's as nearly large as the watch itself actually is, but it does wear big. The taper, as always, really like, but it doesn't pull away from the fact that this watch is pretty damn thick. So the big strike for me is that it is thick and that I'm wearing it backwards because the clasp is on backwards. So that's just a little bit of a pain, but On the wrist, it doesn't look bad. For sub-style, black base style, Tudor style watches, it is fairly good. So on the wrist, I'm fairly happy with it. I'm not even going to dive into the lume of this watch because it's just the hour and minute hand and then the bezel. It doesn't really work very well. It was very hard to keep it lit. But overall impressions of this watch are, I want to say, confusion. There are things about it that I really like, and then there's other things about it that are just absolutely frustrating to such a large extent that I am having a hard time putting into words whether I think if you should buy this watch or not. I like a lot of the watches Welly Merck has sent me, WM, Watch Movement, whatever they're going to go by. But I really don't think in this current state and in the quality control that I saw this piece, I don't think I could fully recommend it. If you like the way this watch looks, I would say go for it. You know, you're not going to hate it. And if you're not looking for watch perfection, that's totally fine because this watch is going to be good enough. But if you're looking to make your money really worth it, I just don't think this guy hits the mark. It's good for what it is. Are there better versions of this out there? 100%. And there's many of them. And with the 11/11 sale coming up, you could probably get all of them in this price point. So I have to say that I think this is currently not going to be a recommendation from me. Apologies to Welly Merck. I know you send me these things to hopefully get good reviews, but I got to be honest for my, subscribers. I don't think this is a great watch, and I think the quality control is what you guys really need to work on. So if you're listening to this, work on the quality control of these watches, and your fans will be very happy.